How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Race of Apes?
It's good, Reed. How are you?
I'm good. As we just mentioned, I'm Reed, and this is...
Race.
I was letting him say his own name. He forgot it real quick.
Yeah.
We are the MIXEDAPEZ, boys and girls, and we are here to bring you the very first...
Virginal, unused, untouched, never before seen...
episode of our shiny new podcast we call...
You Should Know This Song.
You Should Know This Song. It is a lyric and music or song challenge podcast. And we've been doing this for
25 years about, I think.
So yeah, 25 years with each other in various means that are not podcast, obviously.
Yeah, we've done texting and emails and just sticking our heads in each other's offices and saying, hey, let me put this earworm in for you.
Yeah. Just inflicting whatever song lyric or riff or whatever on each other. But most of the time challenging each other to, just dropping something and see if the other person can get it in their head.
Here's this lyric. Do you know the song?
Right.
Exactly.
All kinds of motivation there. But we decided, hey, why not do a podcast? So here we are.
Because everybody's doing it, Mom. All the cool kids are doing this.
All the cool kids. So we're doing that in the podcast. We're exchanging lyric clues to each other to see if the other person's brain can figure out what song, what artist, etc. And
the more kind of obtuse references, etc.
I think you meant obscure. We'll go with obscure.
Obtuse
is
I don't need an English teacher. Thanks, Mom. Okay. But at any rate, the more obscure
or
references and kind of little factoids and so forth, the better.
We get the game going, and then we just spin off into talking about the artist we just hit on, or the song itself, or the lyrics meaning, or history, whatever. We talk and talk and talk.
That's pretty much all we ever do. And kind of the purpose of the whole deal is to have some fun, to share that stuff, to share our commentary on the music of the time that we kind of came up and since then. So
yeah, we are doing this first episode with the thought that what the game originally started as is what the content should be. So we're just doing this first episode with what we call our prime game.
You should know this song.
Right.
I mean, that's the idea.
You should know this song. Here's a few lyrics from a song. You should know this song.
Right.
Figure it out. So this episode is
exclusively that.
Exclusively the original stuff. But
there's more.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of different little games that we've kind of put together prior to putting together the podcast and since. And the names don't really mean anything to you guys, but it's, quick hits, your mother should know. They're all different types of challenges that do the exact same thing. We're playing with lyrics back and forth.
Right. When you come back for other episodes, and you will come back for other episodes, you'll hear those other challenges and those other games.
Was that supposed to be like subliminal suggestion thing?
It was supposed to be subliminal, but it wasn't subliminal at all. It ends up. I'm not good with subliminal, So yeah, we really appreciate you being here. We are really excited about getting this whole thing started, and we expect that it's going to be just as cool for you as it is for us.
We really do have a blast doing this, and that's the main reason that we're sharing it.
Yeah, absolutely. So are you guys ready? Are you ready for the...
Are you ready is the question.
For the inaugural episode, you want to smash a champagne bottle on the hull of the ship? Let's do this. Here goes. Hey everybody.
How you all doing?
It's me, Reed of Apes, and that is...
Race of Apes.
You know it. And you know what we're here to do?
Ignore people and hide away from the world for
We're hoping you can tell us what we're here to do, because we have no idea what we're here to do.
No, actually, we are here to share with you the world-famous lyric challenge.
World
famous.
It's
in my little world is what it is.
WHIRL. World famous.
Oh, man. This is not starting off well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
glad you can join us.
The world-famous lyric challenge. You should know this song. We're doing this largely for our own entertainment. And we're trying to bring you all along.
Is that just a character that slipped out, or does that relate to something?
No, that's just me sometimes.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
you realize you've sort of given me license
my
there.
bad impression of
bad.
Deep South. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
At any rate,
At any rate, you should know this song. Yes, we're here to do the prime segment of our, cavalcade, really.
A cavalcade.
Cavalcade of delightful games and challenges. This is our main thing here. This is what we started off doing, and do we do it best? Let's just not go there.
We barely do it.
We're right. Well, that doesn't mean we don't do it best.
We're barely functional at it. Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to challenge each other with some lyrics here and see how it goes. Hang in there with us. You ready?
I'm ready. You want me to start? You want to start?
Get going.
All right. I have one for you here, and you should know this song.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Oh, the lyric is a cigarette pressed between her lips. And I can hear the next line. Oh, if there should be video on me right now.
Yes. You want to share the next line there?
And the next line is that, yep, but I'm staring at her tits. It's the wrong way.
There you go.
It's the wrong way. That's
Sublime. What gave you the song, the answer.
That's what gave me the answer. And now I'm in my head, I'm going, yeah. 12 years old and tomorrow should be a horror, and nobody ever told her it's the wrong way.
There you go. That's Sublime, as you said.
Sublime. And do we need to say anything about how great and all that stuff?
Yeah. Well, that was kind of why when I heard it recently on the radio. I'm like, oh, Reed's gonna love this. I know that he's a Sublime fan.
Yeah.
Bud Gaw, Bradley Noel, Eric Wilson. Pardon my loss of verbiage there. I've been having a little trouble speaking all day. Yeah, which is a good reason to do a podcast when
yes,
you can't talk.
It's a good idea.
At any rate,
that's a reason for me to make sure you do the podcast. It makes me look good.
So you're a much bigger Sublime fan than I am. So you want to share some stuff? Or
that was you didn't? Did you say the year?
I did not record the year or the album.
That song's older than you think, and I think it's 2002 or something like that. I think it's like it should not be that old. It's like one of those kids songs. Kids listen to that kind of music, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
My kids. I know you're making a joke, but my kids actually turned me on to Sublime.
That's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it really is.
Thanks, his kids. I have to say. I mean, it's a get
1996.
See, I told you it was older than you.
It's older than you.
It was older than I was willing to let myself believe it was. 1996 is just impossible to believe.
But it's true.
And it has worn well, and I would play it right now. And if that song came out right now, it would be just fine. I mean, it would be
it would fit. It would fit. Yeah.
Totally be.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Several of their songs.
The other band that, and not because of anything musical at all, but because my kids all also went like, "Why aren't you listening to this shit?" It was Cake.
Oh my gosh, Cake
and there's another great band along that same line. Just sort of a lot of different great songs and stuff.
Cake has so many more good songs. They have a pretty big catalog at this point, and so many more good songs than they do. I mean,
exactly. And I've never heard one that I didn't like.
I just came across, and I mean this in the most literal, stupid-sounding sense, I came across an album that I didn't even know they put out. This was like, now we're on to Cake, and we were talking about Sublime, but sorry. This was like 4 months ago. I'm trying to think of the name of the album.
They put the album out 4 months ago?
No. I discovered it. The album's 10 years old. I don't know. And I hadn't heard. I think there was only one radio song that I recognized off there, but I hadn't heard the rest of the album. And I was kind of like, when did this happen? You know what I mean? Because I have like 3 Cake albums, and I love Cake.
I love Cake.
I love Cake, and I mean, with ice cream.
Sorry. I couldn't help.
I know. It's hard not to. And anyway, so I'm listening to this album, and it just should be all over the radio. I mean, the whole album, they're a great band. They're just a fantastic band. Anyway, I won't
we segued away from Sublime, and that's my fault.
We did, but the thing that I wanted to really give a little more emphasis to for just a minute is when your kids turn you on to music, when they're like, hey, you should be like this is some of our music. You should be listening to it. You know what I mean? That is such a wonderful gesture. You know, because it's the scenario. The sarcastic isn't the word. Scenario of the kids getting tired of the parents saying, "This is my. You should be listening to this." Your kid.
Not at all.
When when you get it with your kids enough, and you share music together. I mean, you don't even need food at that point.
So I mean, my 2 youngest. lived with me here the most recently, and my youngest is already 30. Okay, so that's the age of these kids. But when she was maybe 15 or 13, and he's 3 years older than her, 3.5 years older than her.
Yeah.
One day I was walking through the hallway, and she was listening to the Beatles, but it wasn't the Beatles. It was that production called, I think it was called Love.
Yeah.
It was a soundtrack, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And I kind of stuck my head in the room, and I'm like, hey, great song, honey, but when you listen to this, you might want to come at it from the original artists. And she's like, oh, Daddy, blah, blah, blah.
Shut
and
up.
my son,
Close the door.
My son, like, stuck his head and said, he's actually right this time, ma'am. And stuck his head back out of the door. And the cool thing is like, really at least with music and movies and my kids, all 4 of my kids, is I've been able to say, hey, you should check this out. And they'll at least give it a shot.
Give it a listen.
As opposed to blowing me off and telling like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know what I mean?
They give you credit for having enough breadth of knowledge and
understanding of their
judgment
taste.
of their taste.
Exactly.
Right.
So, and there's some stuff my daughter recently turned me onto a couple of comics that I had no idea who they were,
Right.
And that it's...
When you say like comic books or comedians?
No, comedians. I'm sorry.
Right.
Performers. Although I'm sure there are comics that she knows that I know as well. But anyway, like you said, just along that line that you said, being able to share that with your kids, it's a blast.
Yeah. So fantastic.
Yep.
Such a great feeling. And
Okay.
what an old man dad part of the show. We're sorry to everybody who was like, these two
they all
old men
dug
kids.
it.
Okay, so here's one for you. You ready?
Yeah.
How about this?
Did you give it up? 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 I'm about to give up. No, I don't know what that is.
I think you should know this song.
Okay.
And I know you know this band. I mean, I just know you know this band. This is the alternative music thing that we share a lot of here. So,
all right, well, give me another clue.
Here's your second clue.
Heard a lot of talk about the ocean. Heard a lot of talk about the sea. Yeah. No, I don't have it.
Heard a lot of talk about a lot of things and never meant that much to me. No?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know what it is. What is it? Give me something.
Are you familiar with the band Live?
I am familiar with the band
There
Live.
you go. There you go. Operation Spirit is the name of the song.
I do not know the song.
I have to believe if you heard it, you would. The lyrics up front, I knew you would either get or they would totally just scatter your brain.
Exactly.
But there's
not hard to do.
Drum, dum 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 in the background. Going, did you give it up? Did you give it up? So anyway, I think I'm 99%. If you know the band, then you know the song because this song was one of their first one or two that really struck.
Big.
Yeah, that really struck. So I think you'd recognize it. Anyway, 1991. That just is unimaginable for the band Live. Mental Jewelry was the album, and that was written by Edward Joel Kowalski, Patrick, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that name right, Dahlheimer, Chad Allen Gracie, and Chad David Taylor. I believe those are the band members. Anyway, great band, great song. Way too much of a reach back. I mean, when the 90s are a reach back, what are we doing talking about the 60s? Holy cow.
We're old, Reed.
We're old. And now that song is old, and those guys are old, and it ruins everything. Okay, your turn.
Okay, well, I think I got one here for you. So I'm just going to say, you should know this song.
Okay, and my lyric challenge is, whatever you say, Lord, that's what I'm going to do. Say, Lord, that's what I'm going to do. I don't have it. Hit me. I'm the working man. Lord, I'll do the job for you. Thought I knew where it was going, but I don't know where it was going. I don't think I know it.
The song is called The Working Man.
Okay.
And it's CCR.
Huh.
And the reason that we're talking about it is because it was one I'd never heard before.
Really?
Until I heard it in the last month.
Are you
and
kidding?
I made a little mental note and I jotted down the lyrics that I caught. Because, sometimes
Sure.
you hear the whole song, you can only remember a couple of lines. And apparently it was somewhat of a hit.
Really?
Yeah. And it's John Fogerty. I don't have the album. I don't have the year. I don't have the ability to be functional, apparently. But yeah.
I am trying to hear it in my head.
I had never heard it before. So
I am, well, I guess it depends. I want to say that I'm familiar with, I really dig CCR. I always did. I listened to a lot of them. I had a couple of albums, but their radio stuff, I feel like I was really familiar with all the radio stuff. I'm going to have to go listen to that.
You should know this
I'm
song.
the Working Man is the name of the song.
Working Man.
The Working Man.
Yes.
Okay.
Very kind of bluesy and just good. I mean, it's John Fogerty.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Who, by the way, was obviously the songwriter there.
Well,
So anyway,
not obviously, maybe not to everybody. Yeah, great. CCR, John Fogerty. So that would have been
71, 72, 68 in that neighborhood.
Right. Probably.
Yeah. But definitely it was something that I didn't like, man. I mean, you could tell it was CCR.
Well, right.
And it was certainly, you could even tell it was pre-John Fogerty being on his own because of just the whole vibe of the song.
Yeah.
It was like, man, I've never heard that one before. I don't know.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, CCR is a band that you're into.
Well, and it's a band at our age that even if we're not into them, we should know, right?
We were surrounded by them. They were huge, right? Yeah, that's great. Okay, my time to thwump you on the head with something here.
All right. Should I know this song?
You should know this song.
Why drink the water from my hands, contagious as you think I am? Man, you're just killing me today. I don't know.
It is a little more. I want to say it's a little more current song, but
you just called me old again.
I think this. Well, you know the song for sure. It's a bit of a ubiquitous radio song still, but I think this might give it away.
Just tilt my son towards your domain. Your cup runneth over again. Why drink the water from my contagious hands as you think I am? Just
from my hands, contagious as you think I am.
Thank you for correcting me. Seriously. I drink the water from my hands, contagious as you think I am. Just tilt the sun towards your domain. My son towards your domain. No, I don't have it. What is it?
It is Spit Me Out by Collective Soul.
Oh, yeah. I know that song.
I know you know that song. Like everybody knows, you have to know that song.
I drink the... Okay,
yeah,
now I know. Yeah.
Right there.
Okay, cool. Thank you. See,
I thought the first line would trip. You know what I mean? I thought that would get it.
That's, by the way, folks, that's why we do this. That right there is why we do this.
Suddenly it flashes into your head. You hear the whole damn song. And
yes.
You're like, what? I know that
How
song.
How did I not catch that?
How did I not get that? So Collective Soul, written by Greg Laswell, 1995.
By the way, I actually have this CD.
You do?
Yes, I do.
CDs, folks. Remember them?
CDs. Yeah. Vitals back, baby.
That's right.
Although I don't have a working turntable in my house.
And that was off of their first album, Collective Soul. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Have I already said that? I got two things. Today. I think 2 things to put in your pipe and smoke. Okay, so now it's your turn.
So then it's me. Okay. Oh, this is a goodie here. How about this? You should know this song.
What you gonna do when the well runs dry? Oh, I can hear the melody to it. Hold on.
Dead air.
My gosh.
All right, here's the second clue.
Me. You're gonna run away and hide. I know the song.
Yes,
I absolutely know the song, and it's not coming into my head.
Dun 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 dun.
I gotta give, don't I? Oh my gosh, I gotta give. Go ahead.
All right. So the song is "I'm Walking."
Yeah.
And what brought it to my attention, because I mean, this is a song from the late '50s, Big Bopper, right?
It's And
I heard Tom Petty's version of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was listening to this satellite radio thing.
Why is Buddy Holly's version ringing in my head? Did Buddy Holly do it?
I don't know.
I'm hearing him singing it. Anyway, go ahead.
I don't know. The Crickets. I don't know. I don't know. But maybe. Anyway, Big Bopper, Tom Petty, were the artist.
I wonder when Tom Petty did that. It wouldn't have been on there. That wouldn't have been a
before he died.
Oh, good one.
Or it says
really
that the songwriter notes I have say Fats Domino and Dave Bartholomew. I'm wondering if I didn't screw up somehow and say Big Bopper and
it was actually Fats
intertwine
Domino.
those two.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
I'll have to. Look
it's
up.
Fats Domino. I'm betting. You look it up, and
you blather for a moment.
I will blather about wondering what Tom Petty's version of that sounds like. It's fascinating. It's another thing I got to go look up. Yet another. I have a laundry list. It's as long as my arm now. I'm going to spend the rest of the week.
By the way, I have been. It says the song was written by Fats Domino here. Okay.
All right.
I'm just going to look and see if Big Bopper did a version.
Are you folks hanging in there with us? Are you
entertained
by? Can you hear the keystrokes? It's anticipation.
Okay, so yeah, I must have done something stupid here by even putting the Big Bopper in there.
It's called a flub.
Yeah, it's called dumb.
For PG radio.
But anyway, that was a song by Fats
Domino.
And I heard brought on because I heard a version by Tom Petty. Written by Fats Domino and Dave Bartholomew.
Is Tom Petty? I'm going to go listen to it. But is Tom Petty's versions poppy like that?
Yeah,
is it the
absolutely.
Same tempo and all?
Yeah, very
nice.
Good.
That's cool.
Have
I
you?
wanna hear it now.
There's a thing called.
Just play it. Go ahead.
There's a thing called on satellite radio. Tom Petty has a radio station, or there's a Tom Petty radio station. He doesn't have one anymore.
Right.
But there's a bit called something Treasure, Buried Treasures.
Oh yeah.
Okay. They play a lot of songs that aren't by Tom Petty, but stuff that he was really into. That apparently they're digging into his album collection.
Yeah.
And there's a gentleman that was a member of his band that I don't know the guy's name, and I shouldn't even be speaking of him since I don't know his name.
Sure.
But
I was going to say
I hear him all the time on the Tom Petty radio station.
You hear the guy
that you're speaking.
Right, that you don't know.
He's DJing, and he sounds just like Tom Petty. Like he must have lived in the same neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exact same accent.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tom Petty, Fats Domino, I'm walking, and I'm going to walk away before I do some more damage.
And the song had to have been originally written in the late 50s?
Or mid 50s at the latest, I would think. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that brings it around to my turn to boggle your mind.
Not hard to do.
Chew on this.
There'll be times when my crimes will seem almost unforgivable.
You should know this song.
There'll be times when my crimes will seem almost unforgivable. Give me the next line. I have to sin because you have to...
I give in to
sin because you have to make this life livable.
You know this song. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. You know this song. I know you do. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Song name is Strange Love.
Okay.
Still?
No. Depeche Mode. You know what? There's no thumping bass.
Yeah. Written by Martin Gore, released in 1987.
Oh, and this is music for the masses. I have this disc.
I know. Yeah, you know that song.
You got me. Well, apparently not. At one time I may have, and
it just didn't come to your head. Yeah, great song, great album, great band. We've talked about.
I can hear the song in my head now.
Yeah,
damn it.
And the way he phrases, I wanted to put some hyphens in there or whatever because of the way he phrases
to make it
right. The pauses in the words, but that would have been just babying you, and you don't need to be babied, so knock it off.
I do not. Hey, I screwed up, man. You know, it's not the first time today.
Okay.
All right. Well, I've got one that's
Swing
not quite so hard.
That one.
That wasn't hard. Okay.
That one should not have been. But I can't say that I'm not guilty of the very
know
same
this
thing.
Song.
Okay, the lyric is, some boys take a beautiful girl. Yes, I do know this song. Some boys take a beautiful girl and... Give me the next line. Hide her away from the rest of the world. Oh, daddy dear, we're not the fortunate ones because girls, they want to have fun.
Yes.
I was just laughing, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Yep.
I don't know the album, but that is an 80s. That's an 80s hit.
From the rest of the world. Apparently, I don't know the spell either.
Well, yeah, you know. It's about how you
It was written by Robert Hazard.
I don't know who Robert Hazard is.
It was not a Cyndi Lauper song.
But I'll hazard a guess.
And he was not happy with her version because his original version was saying, yeah, girls, they just want to have fun. He was disparaging.
Right.
And
he was being a misogynist or whatever.
She turned it into a
girl's anthem.
A women's anthem. Right. You know.
I didn't know that about that song.
Yes, absolutely.
I have such a much better... I won't want to hear it any more frequently. But I have way more appreciation for the song, and that's not a cut. It's just not my cup of tea song.
Oh yeah, you know, see, like that's one. One year I did for all the kids for Christmas. I did not necessarily cartoons, but something graphic.
Yeah.
On a print with song lyrics on it.
Sure.
And my daughter at the time was really, really, really into Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah.
So I had a cartoon. Comic image of the Powerpuff Girls and the lyrics to that song on there.
Oh, to that Cyndi Lauper song. Yeah, Girls.
I'm sure it's in a frame in a box somewhere in her
away,
basement now.
Tucked away right in an attic or that kind of thing.
That's that weird crap Dad did.
Well, I do have to say, obviously, Cyndi Lauper had a big impact during the time. I mean, she was on the radio and
she's got a cool voice, man.
She's got a great voice.
A really cool
she
voice.
had a lot of hit songs on the radio. It wasn't really most of them weren't really my musical taste, but there were some of her songs that stick with me. They were for my taste, they fit my taste. I really appreciated them, and they were. I thought they were exceptional. So.
She did an album of what they call standards songs, like "It Had to Be You" and from the 40s and 50s.
I can't imagine her voice doing.
Oh, and it was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, I mean the thing is, like, And like that's a pretty common thing for pop icons to do.
Oh yeah, Lady Gaga just did it with Tony Bennett a few years ago.
Yeah, and I know Robert Palmer did a version of of Standards.
Right.
Or an album of Standards. So yeah, cool stuff. Anyway, Cyndi Lauper, Robert Hazard, and I believe it's your turn to stump me.
It is my turn, and hopefully I won't stump you. Here is
stop doing such easy ones for you.
You should know this song.
Well, I'm going to raise a fuss. I'm going to raise a holler. Yeah, that's Summertime Blues.
Hey, there you go. Which version of Summertime Blues?
Oh, I would know from the color of the lyrics. Blue Cheer.
Hey, nice.
That would be the version that was a hit when I was a little kid.
Right. That was actually what I was wondering if would trip for you too. Although obviously the song is much older.
Yeah, Eddie Cochran.
Recorded initially, Eddie Cochran.
And it's been done pretty much once a decade by somebody.
Yeah, there's a lot of versions of it. When I started looking, I was like, holy cow, there's just, 30, 40 on the web that you can reference. So Eddie Cochran wrote that, and he wrote it back in 1958. And then Blue Cheer did such a great psychedelic rock version of the song.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was really cool. Really cool.
My older brother was, as he used to love to say, had 7 years of life on me. Right. Meaning he was born in the early 50s. And that's where I got a whole lot of my musical influence from. Up until the time I got to be 16 or 17, I really didn't venture out on my own musically.
Right.
And about that time is when I started listening to stuff that I didn't get from him,
Yeah.
But this is exactly the kind of stuff that would have been on the radio in the house, on his stereo, on his, I don't know if he even had a stereo. It was a record player. But
record player.
Stereo. Anyway.
A console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Absolutely. All right, what do you got?
All right, I got...
What should I know?
Well, you know what? You. How about this? You may not know this song.
Okay, and the lyric is, drinking rum from a pineapple out on Honolulu Bay. Wow, is that Barry Manilow? Second lyric clue is, the steel guitar is all playing while she's talking with her hands. Why does that sound familiar? Have I heard this song?
Yeah, you've heard
this
song.
Do I know this song?
You may not. This is not your genre, generally.
That last
we've
line,
talked about this
talking with the
artist
hands, that second line does ring a bell, but I'm not going to get it. I can only hear like an echo of what it might be.
Can you hear steel guitars? Because that's what's going on in it. It's John Prine, Let's Talk Dirty in Hawaiian.
I wish I knew that song just because of the name. I mean, come on.
Well, half of...
I wanted to be able to say, as soon as you said it, I was like, man, I wish I'd been able to say that out loud. Let's talk dirty in Hawaiian.
Half of his songs were heartbreaking stories of people that just were, I don't want to say unloved, but that were left behind. And the other half were hilarious.
Right.
And we've talked before, and I think it might have been back before we were actually recording, or at least recording stuff to keep.
Sure.
About him and Steve Goodman and Bonnie Kolak and the other guy that were all from the Chicago School of Folk Music.
Yeah.
And all of them are like that. Like all of those artists have stuff that's just amazingly deep, and it's folk music.
But
right?
they also have
let's talk dirty in Hawaiian kind of stuff, right?
Right. That's great. I just love the name of that song. It's so fantastic. So the lyrics to it are as entertaining
as... A lot of lock and kind of things.
But the rest of it's as entertaining as the title of the song.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I will... I'm not going to say that I'm going to go listen to that because I've said that about 10 things.
I want to say, by the way, that you recently called me out on not knowing any Amy Winehouse. Boy, I can't speak. And I have...
Did I call you out?
No, not like you weren't. I didn't mean it that way. But you brought it to my attention.
Well, I should have then.
You brought it to my attention that I may, knowing that my love of the jazz.
We talked about Amy Winehouse, and you said you hadn't really, and I emphasized.
And every day, I still haven't listened to you, but every day it's like, oh man, I don't have a note on or anything, but it crosses my mind at least once a day when I'm tuning into some music. I'm like, man, I gotta find some Amy Winehouse that you recommended.
Now I did go back, to my credit, I did go and listen to 2 tracks from the Isley Brothers, which you recommended I listen to off of Fight the Power.
Yeah.
And there was one other one other artist that I went back and listened to some of from.
When I gave you some homework that day. Yeah.
Homework. I had 3 homework assignments on that particular day. And since then, I've probably got 25, but I am chipping away at it. So before I die, I'll have chipped 3 times. Okay, it's my turn. So
My turn.
Stop getting in my way. You ready?
Whenever you are.
Go.
You've gone too far this time while I'm dancing on the Valentine.
You should know this song.
Okay.
You certainly know this band.
Give me another lyric.
But you should know this song. Their lyrics were always very strange.
I tell you, somebody's fooling around with my chances on the danger line. Danger line. You've gone too far this time while I'm dancing on the Valentine.
I don't. You should know this song, but I don't know if you'd recognize it by the lyrics.
Okay.
You will when I reveal it.
Give me the song name.
Song name is The Reflex.
Oh, yeah. That's Stop, Don't Tell Me, Duran Duran.
Yes. Duran Duran, yeah. Funny, right? As soon as it's there, it just flooded into your head, and you could hear the whole thing.
I know Reflex. I can't think of anybody else who's like that's the name of the song. That's why it popped into my head.
Yeah.
But I still don't hear the song.
Oh, really?
In my head, yeah.
When you do, you'll be angry at me for having it stuck in your head for a little while.
Cool.
It'll start going around and around. So that was written by John Taylor, Simon Le Bon, Nick Rhodes, Andy Taylor, Roger Taylor, the Duran Duran Peoples. 1983, Seven in the Ragged Tiger was the album. And I am shamelessly a huge Duran Duran fan.
Are you?
I mean...
Yeah, see, and having lived through the MTV days, I think that was one of those bands that I had my fill of.
You had enough of them. Yeah.
And they
still
were all
go back
just
and
so
listen to.
Flippin' pretty.
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean?
They were definitely pretty boys.
Yeah,
they were definitely pretty. But I mean, it's a statement on their musical capability that Robert Palmer got together with them.
Yes.
You know,
I believe they're still.
I think they're still.
I think there's a current tour, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
I'm not taking anything away from them. They were really, really.
But they
good.
they were pretty, for
and
sure.
they did have a lot of music all out at the same time.
Yeah, they have tons of albums.
Excuse me.
And so many good songs, I think.
And you covered the artist. You told us who wrote that.
Yes, and they're part of the reason that they stand out to me a little bit because they were the MTV era and through that and beyond. I mean, they had some staying power.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But they were considered a really pop radio band.
Yeah.
But if you go and listen to their music, they were doing some really creative stuff musically. Like they weren't playing silly, simple, right? Just 3-chord strum stuff.
Right.
They were putting a lot of stuff in there, which I always thought they should have gotten more recognition for.
I certainly even now still hear enough of it. Maybe I'll make a point of trying to pay more attention to the actual construction. Excuse me, the construction. Of songs.
I mean the musical content and their lyrics like that. You know, they contributed a lot to the lyrics, and a lot of their lyrics, I have to say, are even hard. Those 2 lines you just read, that's hard to follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Through the course of the rest of the song, it's interesting to me. It's not quite Beck, fully disconnected lyrical content that just has a rhythm to it and it all fits together and you jam to it and you don't care what it's saying.
Right.
There is something in there that is, cohesive in there, but the lyrical content is really creative, and the musical content I thought was just fantastic. So many of their songs, I'm like, man, that's a great hook. That's a great idea to put those sounds together in a song. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Anyway, I'm a Duran Duran fan. If you didn't get that, so I'll shut up now.
All right. Well, I've got one for you here, and you may know this song.
Now that's not the game we're playing.
I can't help myself.
And my lyric will be. Everybody wants to live how they want to live. Oh my gosh, I know this song.
And this is, considering again where you and I come from, come together musically, you should definitely know it.
I know. I think I'm going to need a second line, but I'm certain that I know this song. Everybody wants to live how they want to live, and everybody wants to love how they want to love. Yeah. Oh, it's coming up through the hallway. It's coming down the hallway. It's saying, "Wait, don't close the door. I'm almost there." Everybody wants to live how they want to live, and everybody wants to love how they want to love. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to get it.
You may have heard this on Friends at one point. I believe it was played in an episode of Friends.
Oh,
it's not Gin Blossoms.
But it's the theme song to the show. It wasn't played once.
No, this isn't. No.
Everybody wants to live how they want to live, and that's the theme song to the.
Yeah, that's not the theme song to Friends.
No one told you life was going to be this way. No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not.
It's not.
You're right.
But it was played. It's the Bodines.
Oh, it's the Bodines. Yeah.
Closer to Free.
Right. It's a great song.
Yeah, and I'm
sorry, Bodines.
And that's a great album.
I didn't hear the whole
I
thing.
had a little bit of. They were kind of local to Chicago when they first came out because I think they were from Racine, Wisconsin, or up in that neighborhood, which is 100 miles within 100 miles.
I can't believe I didn't guess that song.
I can't either. I thought you would know that one.
Yeah.
Although I did kind of pick some lyrics that made it harder.
Yeah, but
for
I
you.
know those lyrics. I mean,
and I had like this whole album. Like at one point in the early '80s, mid '80s rather, I knew the entire album like line for line.
Right.
I played it like weekly at least.
Right.
Anyway, Kurt Newman and Sam Lannis. It's 2 L's Lannis, so maybe it's Giannis. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. And
like llama? 2 L's?
Yes, but with an N instead of an A.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're the two lead singers, and there were two. If I Could Hold You Tonight.
They sang in tandem.
Yeah, and they both had such cool, unique voices. Yeah, you did not get, anyway, pretty much one or the other.
Right.
So, anyway, that's, the Bodines, Closer to Free. Sorry you missed it.
They had some other hits, too. Right?
Yeah, like I said, If I Could Hold You Tonight, that was...
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Wonder where they're at now for another episode.
There you go.
We'll follow up on that. Okay, it's me?
I believe so, and I think it's your final turn for this segment. This should be the last. Yes, sir.
Yes, this should be my last round. So I better make it a good one. This is all I got.
I'm me be goddamn. I'm me be goddamn, I am. I can... I'm me be goddamn, I am. I can sing and hear me, know me. I don't know. What the hell is that? It does not read like English.
It doesn't read like English.
Give me another clue.
This is a song you should know, but I admit this was kind of a mean-spirited trick. So.
Thanks so much.
I know you know the band.
I'm going to read it again. I'm me be goddamn, I am. I can sing and hear me, know me. That's what the first clear says.
Yes.
Now, this one, the second lyric, if you want to destroy my sweater, hold this thread as I walk away, it's called The Sweater. Is it not?
No.
Then what's it called?
It's called Undone.
The Sweater Song.
Sweater Song. Yes. It's called Undone.
Yeah, it was, if you want, I remember very distinctly. Kind of
And again,
whiny.
I wanted to put the hyphens in there because he says, I'm me be, goddamn, I am. It's that staccato,
delivery, right?
Right, that staccato delivery in that whole first part of the song. So you know the band?
No.
Weezer. Yeah, I figured you would know Weezer.
Oh, I know Weezer. I know the song. I didn't get it.
That song was written by Rivers Cuomo. Everybody, 1992. You heard it here. The Kitchen Tapes was the album. And
not the Kitchen Drapes, but the Kitchen Tapes.
And Weezer, another band like we were talking earlier about Blink 182.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite as much a California surf punk band, but a alternative, from the same time period and all that. And when I went to look up the information on the song and do a little background checking, whatever, there were current images of the Weezer guys on the intranets, and I was like, oh man, am I old. Holy cow, look at these guys. So sorry guys, but everybody ages. You're not getting away with it any more than anybody else. It was just shocking for me,
as they say,
because I think of Weezer as Weezer, like they're young guys making, and they still make young guy music. They still do a great job of making songs that sound like it's a college band making music.
Well, I know we're supposed to be wrapping up the segment, but there's something that it brings to mind is I have this theory that all human beings have in their head a vision of themselves that's tied to a certain age, whatever that age is. It varies by person.
Sure.
Okay. In my case, in my head, I'm 28 years old. Okay. I haven't been 28 for over 30 years, but like
for more than 28 years,
who I was mentally when I was 28. Now,
right.
I've matured hopefully, and I've learned some stuff. But like
you haven't, by the way, but that's just
the whole
give
vibe,
you some perspective.
The whole way you view the world, and your worldview is what they call it, right? I believe that people get stuck there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And like when you keep saying, it's like the third or fourth time tonight you said, "Man, I looked at this and I'm so old," and it's like. Yes, you are. But in
Right.
your head, you're the guy that was listening to Weezer
Right.
in 1986.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, anyway.
Their music didn't mature, which isn't helping me. That's the part of the problem. And thank you guys for not letting your music mature. Okay, so that is
The
it
end of
for-
this segment.
Yeah. Another super entertaining, fantastic, mind-boggling. I'll stop.
But, okay. I was just going to thank our friends for being here with us.
Well, that's a very upstanding thing of you to think about doing, Race. Now, why don't you proceed to go ahead and do that?
I just, because now you've made it difficult. Thank you very much. I just want to thank everybody for playing along. I mean, again, we've been doing this for over 20 years, but like now that we've kind of got a purpose and man, it's a blast. It's just so much fun to sit here and do this.
Yeah,
And,
I couldn't agree more. I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, thanks for joining us for this. I just wanted to stick that in there. So
Yeah, hopefully you will comment and, contribute and help us, make future episodes more full of more interesting stuff. Interesting-er.
interesting.
There you go.
Make it interesting. Yeah.
All right. That's it for Prime for You Should Know This Song, the main thing we do, and we are on to the next thing.
Okay, so it looks like we made it out of that one alive.
What'd you think? How'd it go for you?
Oh, it was good for me. Hopefully it was
Always
good for them.
in the gutter. Always in the gutter.
You know me, Dad. That's the case, man.
Yeah, that was our very first episode. We're very excited that you joined us and listened to it.
Hopefully you made it all the way to this end of it.
Absolutely. Hopefully you're still here, and hopefully there was no harm done, no foul.
I don't think anybody's bleeding at this point.
Well, who knows, ears and all that. So let us know what you think about it. We have a website, obviously, and it's www.mixedapes.com. You should know this song.com will also get you there.
Yep.
Either of those two. And, you can comment and let us know what to do better, what we did right. Obviously, we're always up for some praise.
And certainly for some correction because we're wrong about every other word out of our mouths.
You can have the correction.
And by the way, Mixed Apes is MIXEDAPEZ.
No, thank you.
Because, we don't know how to spell.
Yes.
But you should know this song. We'll get you there too. You should know this song.com.
And because Z in anything is super cool. So we hope that you got, a great song to go listen to today, or something to go search on the web.
Yeah, maybe we reminded you of something you haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, or find out something about an artist or a song that you didn't know, and something to go, look up.
And if so, then please like and subscribe. Tell your friends, and hopefully they'll tell their friends, and so on and so on.
Yeah. Don't be embarrassed. Really, it's fine. No, there's no reason to be embarrassed.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
We hope you come back. We hope you listen to the next episode and the ones after that. And as we said, different games coming up. We've got several different challenges and different ways of going about this. So, we're going to be having a great time.
We are Mixed Apes. That was You Should Know This Song, and we'll see you next time.
We're out.